day today to join us to learn about remote access and ShareConnect. My name is Michelle, and I will be your moderator today. Some quick housekeeping items for us today before we do get started. Please feel free to share your feedback by tweeting us at ShareFile or using the hashtag ShareFile. We are going to go through some great content today, and I know we'll get some great questions. So please submit those questions using the Q&A panel at any time during our webinar, and we'll address them during our presentation or during our Q&A break at the end. And finally, yes, we are recording, and we will be sharing the recording with you once our webinar concludes. Well, today we are thrilled to have with us Ryan Little. Ryan is our Senior Customer Success Manager and has been part of the Citrix Customer Success Department for over 5 years. For the past 2 years, Ryan has been working directly with new ShareConnect accounts to help them get started. Today, Ryan is going to walk us through 3 ways remote access can change the way you work. Welcome, Ryan, and please take it away.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you everyone for taking the time to meet with us today. And really what I'd like to do for everyone is talk about those three ways that ShareConnect is going to be able to help you with working with either your own computers or with your clients. And so to get started, I wanted to talk a little bit about what ShareConnect is, just so that we're all aware of what kind of program this is and you have a good idea of what it's going to be able to do for you. And at its core, what ShareConnect is a remote access program, which means that it's going to let you set up computers within your account that you can then go to other computers or use a mobile device to access from that other location. Right? And with that, I see 2 main use cases for why somebody would use ShareConnect. Either they want to make it possible for themselves to set up their own computers or for other people in their office so that they can work from home if there's ever inclement weather, or if they're just trying to achieve a work-life balance that lets them work from home sometimes. But I also see a lot of people use ShareConnect to work directly with clients of theirs. And what I'm going to do for everyone today is talk about the different ways that you can use this so you can accomplish those different kinds of work styles. All right? And the 3 main things that I'm going to talk about are going to be how to set up those mobile workspaces. So how do you get your computer set up so that you can access it no matter where you are? How you can personalize your brand with your clients so that you can provide a service to them from the comfort of your office or your home, but you're still helping them on their computer across town or across the state or even across the globe. And then I'm also going to talk about an integration that's available between ShareFile and ShareConnect that lets you log in once within your ShareFile account and then still access some of the computers that you have set up on your account. And like Michelle said, as we're going through, if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to speak up and type those into the questions panel within GoToWebinar. Those will pop up on our side and we'll be able to get some answers for you towards the end of this presentation. All right, so what I'm going to start with is how to actually log into ShareConnect and how to set up your office computer and how you can connect to that computer whenever you want to use it. And your first step is, once you get your ShareConnect account set up, is going to be to come right here to shareconnect.com and then click sign in the top right. That's going to take you to the login page where you will actually be able to use the same email and password that you use to access ShareFile to access this program as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type that information in. All right. And once you do type that information in, it's going to take you through to this page right here, and this is what we call the management portal for your account. And it's really where you go anytime you want to set up computers, download our desktop app, manage users on your account if you need to set them up or manage their access. This page is where you're going to come anytime you need to do any of that management type stuff. And you can really split this page up into 2 different sections. There's the left sidebar that has those options, and then the right side that's going to display all the computers that you make available to yourself from within ShareConnect. Okay, so once you log in, your first step is going to be to set up that computer that you want to be able to access. So what you would do is sit down at your office computer, come over here to the left, and click Add this computer. Okay, by doing that, that's going to download the ShareConnect install file to the computer you're sitting at, and it's going to let you set it up so that you can then use ShareConnect to remotely access it from another location. Okay, this particular method is going to be compatible with both Windows and Mac computers. Okay, so you can use it for both of those different operating systems. And it will require that a password is set up on that computer, okay? So anytime you go to access that machine, it's going to prompt you for that login information as an extra security feature so that you don't have to worry about somebody just being able to access that machine. Every time you use ShareConnect to log in, it's going to ask you for that info. Now that you have that computer set up, you're going to see that it shows up for you here on this website, and you're going to have a couple different ways at that point to actually remote into it. Okay, the first one is, first step is you'd want to go to another computer, and then you can always come to this website and select the computer right from this list. That will launch a window right from your web browser. That'll give you the ability to work with any programs or files that are on that computer right from within your web browser. You can also download our free mobile app to an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android phone or tablet. Okay, it's a free download for you, and you just need to have that downloaded to your device, and then you can remote into any computer that you set up and make available to yourself within ShareConnect. Okay, but the third method that I'll recommend to people if they are going to be at another computer is to go ahead and download this desktop app. What the desktop app does is it sets itself up as a shortcut on your computer that when you open it, it'll show you all of the computers that you have access to, and it'll make it really easy for you to jump in and work with those machines. The other benefit of it is it's going to provide you with a faster, more reliable connection than you would get from the website itself, but it also has a few extra abilities for situations where you are connecting from one Windows computer to another one. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump into one of these computers here to show you what that experience would be like. But you see whenever we open up this desktop app how it's separated the computers into the different types. What that means is that it's just corresponding to the different ways that we've set up computers. Okay, so any personal computers that you add using the Add This Computer option, those are going to be up here in the top section. And then any client computers that you add, those will be in the bottom section. And we'll actually talk about those in just a moment. All right, so whenever you are going to access any of your office computers, it's going to open up and it's going to take you to this login page where you'll then be prompted to type in your computer's username and your computer's password. Once you type that info in, click Login, and you'll then have full control over that computer. All right, but I'm going to log into this one since I have this one set up as a demo so we can see what that experience will be like for you right within that remote session. Okay, as soon as you select it, it's going to open up, it's going to give you control over that computer, and now you're able to work with any programs or files you want to as if you were sitting right there at that computer. So imagine yourself, you've already set up your office computer and you need to work from home for whatever reason. You can still use your home computer to log in and pick up right where you left off the day before with any programs or files you need to on that computer there. Right? In addition to that, you can also open up your File Explorer and you can access any network locations that are going to be accessible by this computer. So anything that's on that office network that you need to be able to access, you're still going to be able to do those kinds of tasks from within this connection. Now we also have these icons up here in the top right that'll give you a few extra abilities. Okay, the first couple ones are going to let you customize the fit and the view of the screen that we're working with, so full screen, zoom out, zoom in, and actual size. You can also, like I said before, if you're connecting from one Windows computer to another, you can transfer files directly between those two computers. So if you want to bring anything over to your computer to work on it locally, or if you've been working on something on your home computer and you want to move it to that one, you're going to be able to accomplish both those kinds of transfers. The next button, Control-Alt-Delete, that is going to set it so that when you ever need to send that command over to that computer, you just have to click that and it'll pop open that task manager for you so you can use that if you ever need to. And the reason why we have that button there is because if you click that on your keyboard, it'll actually pop it up for the computer you're sitting at. So this makes it so that you still have that option for you within your remote session. And then the last icon that we see here on the far right is going to be your session settings. Within there, you can customize 3 different settings. You can customize whether or not you hear audio from that computer that you're accessing. This is something you can toggle on and off. Green means that it's on, black means that it's off. Screen blanking is a security feature that's going to be turned on automatically as soon as you connect to a remote session. And what that does is it's the security feature, so what it's going to do is it's going to secure that computer that you're accessing from the other side. So that if you're at home and you're remoted into your office computer and you're working on something that's confidential or has sensitive information involved with it, you don't have to worry about somebody walking past your computer and being able to see everything that you're working on. Okay, so it blanks out those monitors and it locks the keyboard and mouse so that that information is protected on the other side. But we do give you the ability to control that feature for situations where maybe there is somebody on the other end that you do want to be able to see what's going on. You can toggle this on and off just by using this button right here. And then the last setting that we see here is the current printer option. And this is going to let you choose which of the printers that are networked to your laptop or your desktop at home, which of those is going to be used for the remote printing feature. So that if you're ever working at home and you need to print off a document from your office computer, you can have it print off at home with your home printer. And so to work with this, you can click that change button right there. That'll pop open this window that lets you see all of the printers that are networked to that computer, select the one you want to use, and then go through the normal steps that you would when you want to print something off from your computer. So for example, in Microsoft Word, I'd open that up, come up to File, Print, and then from this print page, I would make sure that the ShareConnect printer is the option that's selected. Okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to tell that document to redirect to whatever printer I'm sitting next to instead of printing off in that computer's office. Okay? That saves you the trip out to the office to go grab that hard copy. You can have it come right to where you are. Okay, so it'll be this option right here, right to where you are at that time, and then you can get on with what it is that you were doing at that time. All right? And then once you're finished, you can click on those 3 stripes up there in the top left. That's going to bring this sidebar back. That'll let you then disconnect from that computer. Okay? So that's really what I would recommend to people if they were going to be accessing their office computer from another computer. Like I said earlier, if you have an iPad, an iPhone, or an Android phone or tablet, you can also download our free mobile app so that you can access any of these computers from that mobile device. That way, if you don't have a computer handy, you just have your smartphone or your tablet with you at that time, you can still gain this same kind of access to your office computers from that mobile device. Right? So that is the first option that I wanted to talk to everybody about, how to set up your own computers and use those. What I'd like to talk about next is how you can use ShareConnect directly with your clients so that you can create your own personalized brand of service for any clients that you're working with, so that any time that they need your help, no matter where you are, you're able to reach out and assist them with whatever it is that they need. Okay? The actual experience, whenever you remote it into that computer, is going to be the same one that I just showed you, but to set those client computers up, there's just a different couple of steps that you'd want to take in that particular case. Okay, so we'd come back to this management portal, and then this time you would want to click Add Client's Computer. Okay, so that's going to be the option right below the Add This Computer option, and when you click it, if instead of downloading that software to the computer that you're sitting at, it opens up this window that lets you type in your client's email address, and it lets you send them an email message. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up this Learn More button right here, because there's a few screenshots in here that'll help us visualize what the experience would be like for your client while they're getting this set up. Okay, so here's the last step on our side. We type in that client's email address, click Send Email. That client will then receive an email from your account that will let them know that you want to gain access to their computer. It will have a little bit of information about what ShareConnect is, just so that they're educated. And it will also have this link right here that lets them download and install the ShareConnect software. So from the client's perspective, all they need to do is click that link, run the install file, and answer 2 questions that'll pop up on their screen. Okay? The first question will ask them for their Windows login information. Okay, so whatever their username and password is for their Windows computer, that's what they would type in on that screen. It's going to save that information securely within the program so that they don't have to share that info with you, and so you don't have to keep track of that for yourself. Just imagine having 20 or 30 client computers set up and having to keep the login information for all those straight within your head or within a spreadsheet or something. This is going to keep you from having to worry about that by saving that information securely within the program, so that later whenever you go to access that computer, it just logs in for you without forcing you to type in that extra info. Okay? The other thing about that is if that person does not have a password set up on their computer, they will be able to skip past that step. Okay? The second question that will be asked to them will ask them if they want to give you full access to their computer, or if they want to give you restricted access to specific programs on that computer. Okay? If they give you full access, you'll have the same kind of experience that we just took a look at on that computer that I showed you, where you can see that computer's desktop, you can navigate around and access any programs or files you want to, as if you're sitting right there at that machine. If instead they choose to restrict your access, you're going to be shown, they will be shown a list of programs that are installed on their computer. They can pick and choose whatever it is that they want to show you. And then later when you remote in, you're going to be taken to a screen that shows you just the icons for those specific programs. All right, so I've mainly seen that particular feature be used by clients who are very security conscious and they want to have a little more control over what it is you're able to do within that remote session. All right? But once the client's gone through and they've done that, whether they give you full access or they restrict you to specific programs, then as soon as you come back to this computers page, you're going to see that that client's computer shows up as an option for you here on this list. You'll also see it within your mobile device from within our mobile app, and then within the desktop app as well. On this page, you can see a little line that shows up beneath the computer's name that tells you the email address of whoever it is that you sent that link to. And it is also possible for you to customize the name of the computer itself. So if it's something weird like this, where it's just a series of letters and numbers, and you want to make it a little more descriptive so it's easy for you to tell all these computers apart, you can do that by clicking those three green dots, and then by clicking the rename option. And then that'll let you customize it to be whatever you want it to be. Maybe that person's name or the name of their company or something like that. Whatever helps you tell all the different computers on your account, whatever helps you tell them apart. Right? And then once you have that computer set up, you can use those same options that I talked about before to access that computer. You can either come to this website here, you can access the computer that way, you can use a mobile device, or you can also use that desktop app, which is what I would recommend if you are going to be at another computer, is to use that to connect to any computers that you set up within your account. All right. And then what that does is it gives you the ability to remote into that client's computer and assist them with whatever it is that they need. And that particular feature I see used a lot by IT administrators who want to reach out and provide technical support for their clients. I also see it used a lot by accountants who want to be able to reach out to their clients and assist them either by teaching them how to use QuickBooks in some way, or if they need to do any kind of bookkeeping for them, this lets them access that client's computer and do the work right there within the client's environment without having to move that information directly between the two computers that you're using. All right, the last thing that I wanted to talk about today, or that I wanted to show everyone today, is going to be the way that you can use our single login feature with ShareFile and ShareConnect. And what this feature does is it lets you log into ShareFile and then access some of the computers that you have set up within your ShareConnect account. Okay, and the computers that are going to be visible for you within that integration are going to be any Windows computers that you set up using the Add This Computer option, or any file servers that you've set up within your account. Okay, and to use this feature, all you need to do is jump over to your ShareFile account. Okay, so once you've set up one of those computers, log into ShareFile, and then come over here to the left side and click where it says Connectors. That's going to take you to the page that will actually display any Windows computers that you've set up using the Add This Computer option, or any file servers that have been added to your account, and it's going to make them available to you right here from within your ShareFile account. So the whole point of this integration is it lets you log in to this one window and have access to all of your data on the cloud and all of your data that's still stored locally on your computer or your server back in your office. So no matter where you are, you can still access that information. All right, so all I need to do is click the computer that I want to access and then type in my login information. Once I do that, it's going to make a connection between my computer and my ShareFile account, and it's going to populate the folders from that computer right here on this page. So now, at this point, no information has actually been moved from one computer to the next. So from my computer to my account, it's just displaying this information and making it visible for me so that I can browse around. All right, so I'll go ahead and click on these folders. It lets me go straight to my desktop. Really, any folder that's set up on this computer is going to be accessible to me from within this window. Once I find whatever file it is that I want to work with, I just need to click the checkbox next to it, and then I'm given the ability to either download it directly to the computer that I'm sitting at, or I can also share it directly from my account by emailing with ShareFile or by getting a link, so that no matter where you are, if you have that file set up on, if you have that file stored on a computer that you've already set up within ShareConnect, you're still going to be able to use ShareFile to reach through and grab that file and share it either with a colleague or a client of yours, no matter where you're located at that time. Okay? You can also upload any information from the computer that you're sitting at directly to that computer back in your office by using this upload button. And one thing I also like to mention about this integration between ShareFile and ShareConnect is that if you are using our ShareFile mobile app, you can have this same kind of access through that mobile app as well. Okay, you'll be able to see your computers show up for you within the ShareFile mobile app, log into them, and then you can get mobile access to all of that data. All right, and that is everything that I had to show.
Great, Ryan. Thank you so much. And to our customers on, thank you so much for participating. We do have several questions coming in, Ryan, but please, we have a slated 15 more minutes. So if you do have questions, please feel free to type them into the Q&A box so we can get all those answered for you. So Ryan, our first question that I'd like for you to address is this a tool you would recommend for an IT person to use to troubleshoot with customers?
I would, yeah, and you're going to find that the experience is going to be similar to what you would get within GoToAssist. Really what this lets you do is it lets you set up access to that client's computer, and then whenever you connect to it, you can choose whether or not the person on the other end is able to see what's going on the screen. So for an IT support kind of situation, I would actually recommend that you disable that screen blanking feature. That way, the person that you're talking to on the phone, they can see what's going on, you can see what's going on, and it also gives them the ability to use the keyboard and mouse. And to actually disable that feature, you would just come up to your personal settings page right up here, click settings, and oh, sorry, I actually got timed out of my account, but it's going to be right in there. And one thing that I have seen from people who are interested in using this in that fashion is they ask a lot about what about one-off situations where I just need to help somebody once and I don't need perpetual access to that person's computer. In those kinds of situations, once you're finished with that remote session, you can always revoke your own access to that client's computer. They are also able to uninstall ShareConnect on their side so that the connection is severed. And then later in the future, if they ever need support again, you can just send them another one of these client's computer links and you can help them out again at that time.
Great. And so is the client connection only for one session, or would it be a permanent link with their computer?
Good question. Yeah. So it's going to give you, once you set that client's computer up, it gives you unintended access to that computer. So as long as the computer is turned on and has access to the internet, you're going to be able to access that computer as many times as you need to from within this program. Now, kind of referring back to what I mentioned with the other question, is if you do have a client who does not want you to have that perpetual access to their computer, they have the choice of uninstalling ShareConnect from their side, or you can also revoke your own access by clicking this remove button right here, and then that would remove it from the account so that if they don't want you to have that kind of access, you can kind of take care of that for them, and then in the future, if they need help again, you just send them another link.
Okay, great. And then does the computer that you are remoting into need to be turned on and connected to the internet for you to access into it?
Yes, those are going to be the two important criteria for somebody to, for a computer to show up as available for you. Has to be turned on, has to be connected to the internet, and if one of those criteria isn't met, whenever you log into this page or within your desktop app or within the mobile app, instead of showing up as green and available for you, it would actually show up as unavailable. It'll be grayed out, and it'll tell you that this computer is not currently available for you to access. So you'll know at a glance whether or not you can log into it.
Okay, great. And then when you were going through the demo, you mentioned the desktop app. Can you use ShareConnect without downloading and installing the desktop app? We do have a customer who is IT department does not let them install or download anything onto their desktop.
It is possible for you to access your computers right from this website. And so the way that that would work is you just log into your account, select your computer right from this list. What that does is it launches a remote session using HTML5. So as long as your IT department is okay with those kinds of services being launched, you'd be able to open it up and you'd be able to work with any programs or files you want to within that remote session. The only drawback there is that you don't have access to a few of our extra features like multi-monitor support, being able to transfer files or print documents remotely. Those are only going to be accessible to you from within the desktop app.
Okay, thank you. And then several of our customers are asking, is this simply a feature in my ShareFile account that I need to have turned on, or is it an upgrade that I need to request?
This is an upgrade, and the way that it'll work is if this is something that you would be interested in using for yourself, this is turned on a per license basis, and the way that the license structure works within ShareConnect is similar to how it works within ShareFile. So you purchase licenses for how many employees on your team that you want to be able to use this product, and then they're able to log in using the same credentials that they use for ShareFile, and then once they're within here, they can set up however many computers that they want to be able to work with. And the price per license is going to be $9.99 a month.
Okay, great. Well, we do have a few customers who are currently using a different remote access tool currently. GoToMyPC and RDP were mentioned, and they would just like to know what are the benefits for using ShareFile over these products.
Sure. You'll find that the experience between a lot of these remote access programs is going to be very similar. Basically, they do a lot of the same things where you're given access to that computer and then you're able to work with it. I'd say where ShareConnect really sets itself apart is going to be with its mobile experience. So if you're using an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone or tablet, that experience that you have from that mobile device is going to be superior to what you would have with a lot of other services. We also excel with our particular license structure. So I mentioned earlier that the licenses you purchase are going to be specific to the number of users that you set up. A lot of those other services, they force you to purchase a license for every single computer that you want to set up. So especially if you're using this particular program to work directly with clients of yours, let's say you have 30, 40 clients that you want to work with another program, you'd have to buy 30 or 40 licenses. With ShareConnect, you would just have to purchase the number of licenses for however many people on your team are going to be working with those clients. So it's going to be a lot more cost effective for you.
Yeah, I agree, and I would add to that, Ryan, our customer support is second to none. You are a testament to that. Ryan is on our customer support team, and our customer support team is here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, live, someone on the phone. So I think that's a definite benefit to having ShareConnect with your ShareFile account as well. Well, we did not get any more questions come in. Thank you all so much for your participation today. Thank you, Ryan, for showing us ShareConnect and how seamlessly it works with ShareFile. Again, we did record today, and we will be sending you an email with that recording. If you have any additional questions, Ryan's email address will be right there on that email with the recording, so he would be happy to help you with any questions. So again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend 30 minutes with us. And until next time, please have a wonderful day.